Alright, we have the last requirement for the Leviathan here, the Mark 6 Interceptor that uses Sith Empire Trooper as its pilot. I've already done the developer's insights and the full requirements list for the Leviathan in the last video, so now this one is just going to be about his kit reveal, which we've heard has a Annihilate as the basic. So to start, basic ability, Deadly Stack. Okay, it just looks like a regular shot, right? Yep. Let's see. Final text. Deal physical damage to target enemy. Mark 6 Interceptor gains additional effects based on how many stacks of Devouring Swarm Mark 6 has. If below 10 stacks and another non-capital ship... non-capital Sith ally ship is active, gain 10 stacks of Devouring Swarm. If above 20 stacks, gain critical damage up for 2 turns. If above 30 stacks, shock to target enemy for 2 turns. If above 40 stacks and the capital ship is Sith Empire and it's Mark 6's Interceptor's turn, lose 40 stacks and instantly defeat target enemy. Alright, so this is what they're talking about. You have an Annihilate on your basic, which you do, but it also requires you need to have 40 or more stacks of what is this? They're getting stacks of Devouring Swarm. So, I don't know how easy that is to build up, but I would kind of think if you're going to have an Annihilate, it's going to be hard. Because most moves that have an Annihilate type tendencies aren't just right out the gate. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. Kat, she's got her move that you can do right out the gate and take somebody right out. But the other ones, like Nihilus, that's a cooldown of 8. Or Rex, that's a charge up with, it depends on how many times your clone allies went. And that has a decent cooldown as well. It's not something that you just open up with. Boba, Execute. Sometimes you get lucky. Then again, that's not really anything that charges up. But like you have Disintegrate with Mando. You gotta unlock that with the payout and stuff. So most of the moves aren't just free willy, like, here you go, kill the thing right away, except for Kat. Or if you're lucky, Boba with Execute. Anyways, though, all I'm trying to get at is, I don't know how easy this will be to get this stacks, but I guess we'll see. Devouring Swarm. You also get plus 2% offense per stack. Oh, so even if you're at like 39, you still have a lot of offense boost. You know what I mean? That's 78 offense boost. 78% offense boost, actually. Special 1. Can't outrun this. Cooldown of 4. Again, he's hanging out with the Sith Marauder ship. Attacking the Ebon Hawk. You know, they should show the capital ship as the Leviathan. It's just like a regular Empire ship over there. Final text. Deal special damage to a target enemy and call another ally to assist. Mark 6 Interceptor gains accuracy up for 2 turns and 10 speed, max 100, and 10 stacks of Devouring Swarm for the rest of the encounter. All enemies are inflicted with potency down for 2 turns. Okay, so you get 10 stacks using this move of Devouring Swarm, but it's got a cooldown of what? 4? Yeah, so that's like a long time if you were only relying on this. There's got to be other ways to get Devouring Swarm. The Devouring Sacrifice, cooldown of 3, so it kind of flies around. It's one of these moves that it flies around, and it looks like it attacks everybody, right? Yeah, seems that way, although only one really jiggled, so we'll see. Final text, deals special damage to all enemies. Okay, yep. All allies gain tenacity up for 2 turns. If Mark 6 Interceptor has more than 4 stacks of Devouring Swarm, 1, you lose 3 stacks of it. 2, Mark 6 gains Retribution for 1 turn. 3, all allies gain critical chance up for 2 turns. And 4, inflict enemies with critical damage down and speed down, which can't be evaded or resisted for 2 turns. Alright, so this is a weird move. 1, you're able to use Devouring Swarm if you have more than 4 stacks. So if you did that last move we just looked at, you'd have 10 stacks, and then it says you lose 3 stacks of them, which kind of sucks because you want those stacks to pile up so that then it's powering up the basic move to get the Annihilate. But when you lose 3 stacks, you kind of get a lot of good stuff going on. You get Retribution, critical chance up for 2 turns, and enemies get critical damage down, speed down. So it's like, yeah, there's some decent trade-off there. Unique 1, Devastating Sensation. Final text. At the start of battle, Mark 6 Interceptor's max health is set to 1, and it has no protection, which can't be prevented. I didn't know that. I guess, though, they did say it was like the B1 battle droid. Mark 6 is immune to damage over time. Max health changes. I'd hope so. You only have 1 health. And max protection changes. I'd hope so. You have 0. Mark 6 starts with 10 stacks of Devouring Swarm and can't be defeated or destroyed while it has Devouring Swarm. Okay. I didn't know that either. So you can't be defeated as long as you have Devouring Swarm. That's kind of cool. So you start with 10 stacks, and as long as you maintain that, you're good. Which, that actually sounds like a pain in the butt then, if somebody's going up against that. When Mark 6 Interceptor takes damage, it loses 2 stacks of Devouring Swarm and dispels all the buffs on itself. Okay, hold on. It says you can't be defeated or destroyed while you have Devouring Swarm, but then it says when you take damage, it loses 2 stacks. So, in effect, you could be defeated then. If you had 2 stacks left, and it whittled you down to 0, that means you're defeated, right? So that sentence prior is kind of, oxymoronical, contradictory, I don't know. Unless they're saying, like, a move like, Chimera's Annihilate type move wouldn't work as long as you have Devastating Swarm. Anyways, if Mark 6 Interceptor has no stacks of Devouring Swarm, Mark 6 is immediately destroyed. When Mark 6 Interceptor has Retribution, its attacks ignore enemy protection. When Retribution expires, gain 5 stacks of Devouring Swarm, doubled if dispelled. Whenever an ally gains defense up, Mark 6 Interceptor gains accuracy up and advantage for 1 turn, and 2 stacks of Devouring Swarm. Whenever an ally gains defense up. I don't really know what ships do defense up, but that's another way to get your Devouring Swarm. It says you gain 2. And it's whenever an ally. So if there's like a ship that can do it for the whole team, then that's all allies. So that's 4 allies. So that's 8 stacks right there. Not bad. Reinforcement. Let's see if this is a character you want to have as a reinforcement, or if you want it to come out right out the gates on the front lines. So it says, the Supreme Empire. Final text. Enter battle. Gain 5 stacks of Devouring Swarm for every other ally reinforced ship. If the capital ship is Sith Empire, Mark 6 Interceptor gains 30 stacks of Devouring Swarm instead for every other ally reinforced ship. Oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely want it to be a reinforcement then. You gain 30 stacks of Devouring Swarm for every other ally reinforced ship. Mark 6 gains a stack of Ferocity for 2 turns. So if every ship was out there, say you had 4 ships out, and they were all reinforced, that's 120 stacks. And this takes 40 to do the Annihilate? So that'd be like 3 Annihilates back to back that you could do. Huh. Well, then again, if that ship took some damage, then it eats 2 of them. But that's at least 2 you could do in a row. Not bad. Maybe that could be a pretty ridiculous ship. Bastillation or Bastillation Fallen required for the Leviathan? You know, I figured it would the Fallen as well. That's why in the last one, actually it wasn't this video, it was the last video, but still it calls it out, and I specifically say the good one, because I was thinking that's weird. Would it be the good one? Why would it be the good one? It would make more sense if it was the Fallen one, but who knows? Pretty sure it's Fallen, but getting confirmation now. Edit, it is not the Fallen version. And that's actually from Tuscan Dickhead. What? So regular Bastilla needs to be Relic 7? That's weird. Why her and not the Fallen one? So that reinforcement, they get 30 stacks for each ship that has reinforced up to that point, or 30 for each ship in the reinforcement slots. No, it's for each one that has reinforced. Confirm it is not the Fallen version. Yes, we already saw that. R9 Malik and not R9 Malgus. Hey. They make enough ridiculous requirements. Don't try to ask for it to be worse. R9 Malik is fine. Oh my. Well, not getting the Fury or Swordy soon, so I don't know how useful this will be, but wow. But like, where Cal at though? You know what? That is a good question. Cal, the Journey Guide Cal, has been introduced how long ago now? Months ago. And we still have nothing about him. We haven't had a kit reveal or anything, and yet here they are with all these new ships for the Leviathan. They told us all the requirements for Leviathan. It's almost like this ship's gonna come out first, and we're still waiting on Cal. Malgus not required on a specific relic level. Is really Bastillation meant and not Bastillation Fallen? Apparently yes, and that is very weird. So, what about the complete garbage fire that is the Sith Assassin ship? I know that ship does suck. Dagger, well then again, the character sucks too. Sith Assassin, come on, nobody's using Sith Assassin like, oh my god, they're so OP. It's like the Jedi Knight Guardian, like... Dagger does what the Sith Fighter does, but better. Now this ship also is 100 times better. Can the Sith Fighter get an update, please? This thing is so bad. Oh man, this heartburn. Bigger joke than having a sortie as a requirement for a Sith Empire fleet. What's wrong with them using the Fallen version? Which actually makes sense. Actually, I just realized, yeah, sortie is a weird requirement. Isn't sortie Old Republic? Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, this is... Sith Empire is around the Old Republic time, right? I mean, it still is really weird. Like, why do you have a random droid that you guys made up? It's not even a real character. It's a CG invented character. But why do you have that as a Relic 7, right? Or Relic 5? Whatever it is, requirement for this ship. That's supposed to be all about Sith. And then a random droid. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm a Sith, too. Just kidding. Same thought in this. I thought it would be Malgus also. Look, Malgus probably does make more sense, but just shut your lips. Nobody has Malgus. Like, don't make the requirements harder than they need to be. It's hard enough getting these characters to Relic 9. Don't make it a Conquest character on top of that. Don't expect logic from CG. Yes, there you go. Somebody else is saying what needs to be said. CG is very dumb. They picked the least they picked the stuff least relicted. Light side Bastilla is dumb. How about changing it? Light side Bastilla is ridiculously random for this. Like, it's all about Sith, and you're gonna work on a light side Jedi? Like, what? So cool. But where's Cal's kit reveal? We've been waiting forever. Yeah, I know. I feel like when this first came out, it was like wintry, like March or something, late February. When did we first hear about him? I think it was late February with the Road Ahead, right? Now here we are, June. We went through a whole season and we still don't have Cal's kit. Is the Leviathan event going to be monthly, or will it be like Galactic, Grand Inquisitor not appear again for 6 months? God, is that what it is? Grand Inquisitor is every 6 months? Not to go on a random tangent that has nothing to do with this ship or these comments, but I've been waiting for Grand Inquisitor to come back, and I saw when it was last around, and I just barely missed it. My characters weren't strong enough, and then I just got them beefed up to Relic 5 like a couple days after the event ended. So you're telling me I got like 4 more months to wait before this thing comes back? Well, on the positive side, I did want to get all my Inquisitors up to like Relic 7 at least, because I hear that the Inquisitor event's pretty hard. So, I guess this gives me time. Makes sense. R9 Darth Leviathan. Oh yeah, that's right. He's the captain. I forgot. Yeah, so even though it's a pain in the cock, that does make sense. R7 Sith Trooper. Mark 6 Interceptor. Yeah, I mean, I guess the stronger he is, stronger the ship will be. Same as Sith Trooper, Maul, and Sith Assassin. Maybe makes sense. R9 Darth Malak. No ship, but he later commanded the Leviathan. R7 HK, no ship, but ties in as Revan's droid. Yep. But R7 Bastille Sean, Sortie, and 7-star Ebon Hawk. Why can't I not say this? Ebon Hawk. Karth and T3 are the pilots for the Ebon Hawk. 7-star Fury class. No Malgus? Oh yeah, isn't he the captain of that? I forgot about that. Yeah, that's kind of goofy. And 7-star B-28 Extinction class bomber. No Sith Marauder. Not a requirement, but they might be thinking, at least for this one, Sith Marauder needed to be Relic 7 for, who was it, C? It might have been for C. So they might be thinking if you have C, then you already have this thing Relic 7. So there's no need to explicitly make it a requirement for this one. Do you have info on what date the chase will start, and or what date Leviathan will be released? Also, at how many shards will Leviathan unlock? Leviathan's going to unlock at 7-star, and if you read the kit reveal, that's how you would know this, because it said you can have the ships at 5-star, but you need them at 7-star in order to fully unlock the ship, which means that the ship will unlock at 7-star. It makes sense for Basti and Ebon Hawk. The Ebon Hawk was the ship Revan used when Malak betrayed him. He used that ship to hunt the Starforge, so it makes sense in a way. Sortie is a made-up unit, so there won't be logic there. Not sure why you say Maul makes sense. It's a few hundred years apart, but oh well. Malgus is semi-locked, but I agree. I thought they messed up and said Maul instead of Malgus, but doubtful. You never know. Highly doubted. No, because the Skimtar. Pretty great mechanic. Another interesting take on the ad's Death Trooper mechanic. A ship that's designed to be reinforced and weak to AoE blitzes. Last I checked, they weren't asking for Mob Enforcer. What? I don't understand this. It's like you said stuff and then you responded to something. Funny thing, I once used one of those offers that gave 330 shards of a random tune for 5,000 crystals. I was kind of disappointed because I got Sortie. Now joke's on you, RNG. You got Sortie for... I mean, I understand why you'd be disappointed. Like, oh, this is what you gave me? Cool, I got a stupid character I don't care about. But, at least you got something, like, semi-decent in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? They could have given you something basic, like, you know, here's 330 shards of Jedi Consular. Like, oh, cool, because I haven't had that 7 stars since, you know, the last 6 years. At least they gave you something newer that you might actually not have 7 stars, so that kind of was okay. Maul makes sense for the event because it's him with his matching ship. Yes, the Skimtar, and it's a Sith, and this is all about a Sith synergy. That's my first concern. Require us to relic up the pilots of the ships. If you'd like, they can add 2 more tune requirements of Malgus and SM. Take what you can get. Don't ask for more. Yes, that's what I've been saying the whole time. Like, don't complain. Yes, it would make sense to have Malgus. I get that. But at the same time, he's a conquest character. Like, they're already requiring his ship to be part of this anyways, which is also a conquest character. Like, do you people not realize how much work this is going to be? I mean, unless these are Krakens and whales crying. But otherwise, do you not realize how much work this is going to be? You got to have one conquest character unlocked to use the other conquest character, the ship. You know what I mean? Otherwise, the ship does you no good if you don't have Malgus. And it's going to take forever if you're like a free-to-play player. You're looking at least, what? A year and a half, 2 years before you have... Yeah, probably 2 years before you have both of them fully unlocked 7-star. So, like, don't worry about saying the requirements. Just take what you get. They said Darth Malak, good enough. At this point, most people have Malak. Probably have him at least Relic 5. I do. So it's just a couple more relics to go. Boom, you're done. Well, actually, no, he needs to be Relic 9. So you got a few more, but still, you got to start. Don't worry about making it harder. And what's SM? Malgus and... Who the F is SM? Oh, Sith Marauder. And again, like I said with Sith Marauder, he's a requirement for C or Kylo. I forget which one. It might be C. So chances are if you have C, you already have him Relic 7 anyways, and that's probably good enough. That's why they didn't explicitly make him a requirement for anything. Sith Marauder is already a Relic 7 requirement for C. Okay, I've been saying that the whole time. So, see, this person gets it. Also, who will be the capital ship's commander? It's Revan. Do these people not pay attention to the forums and stuff? We already know this. Wait, are people actually complaining about there not being 2 conquest units required to unlock Leviathan? God, I just said that too. You'd think I already read this stuff. I didn't. My whole explanation was off the top of my head, and now these people are saying this too. This is why we can't have nice things. Also, since Fury is needed, chances are people will have a decent Malgus already, because, you know, he's the pilot for Fury. Yes, that's what I've been fucking saying. You need to have Malgus as it is to unlock the ship. Chances are once you unlock Malak, you're going to work on him, because he's one of those good conquest, you know, demi-GLs, if you will, type characters, especially once he gets his Omicrons. So, I don't know why people are complaining. Oh my god, you could have made this harder and you didn't? What's the matter with you, CG? Revan, I already said that. Indeed, right now Leviathan has 2 more requirements than either Profundity or Executor. Guess I have to dust off wherever I left Sortie parked. 2 more requirements? What do you mean, like the relics? Yeah, because Executor doesn't require any Relic 9s, and Profundity requires 1, and it's, you know, what's his name? Radis. Where this one has 2. 2 Relic 9s. Like, yeah, that's real sexy. Thanks a whole bunch. Sortie and Bastilla versus BSF are weird. Bastilla's Sean Fallen, but not unheard of having weird requirements. Overall, not too bad. Makes perfect sense to me. Sortie was during that time period, and few have her at relic levels. Bastilla was also at the time period, and most have her at low relic levels. Bastilla Fallen was also at the time, but she is at high relic levels for most. Easy to understand the requirements. Okay, dick ass. Like, I'm sure a lot of people can figure that out. You don't have to be a dickhole about it. The whole point of what these people are saying is it just doesn't make sense. Sortie is a fake character that CG invented. It's not canon, it's not nothing. CG just, took the liberty to make up a character and add it in their game. And then claimed that it was from the Old Republic era. Just generically threw that out there. So that's weird to have for a Sith ship. And as far as Bastilla, okay, yeah, a lot of people might have her at low relics as opposed to Fallen, because Fallen's better. But at the same time, it would just make more sense. Fallen is the Sith. This event is all about a Sith ship. So why would you have a light side Jedi as part of the requirement for Sith? That's all it's saying, dickhead. When will the chase event start? In a week? In a week tomorrow? After Conquest? I made fun of that in a week tomorrow because I feel like they meant in a week or tomorrow, but they kind of smashed it together. But who knows? Maybe they did mean it together. Maybe they were saying in a week tomorrow. Like tomorrow, Wednesday, and then a week from then. That's what they could be actually asking. After Conquest? We don't have a Conquest. Oh my word. We don't even have a Conquest active currently. Is there one coming up or something? Because otherwise, if it's after Conquest, you're waiting forever. I do feel like overall that is a good question, though. They always say that things will be part of a galactic chase. It's a galactic chase or whatever, and then it's like they don't tell you when, though. Oh, it's to be available in a galactic chase. Okay, well, when is the chase? Is it Thursday? Is it Friday? Is it next week? Is it in a month? When is this? Don't just generically tell us that it's going to be part of a galactic chase and don't give us any further detail. Like, when is it? Anyway, I gotta say, this was a pretty decent comment section for once. I was able to really comment on it. Usually the comment section is boring and I kind of just read it and then make slight jokes and observations. This one I felt engaged with. This was like the one that CG puts on. I might actually just put this as its own video because, wow, I was really getting into this. Anyways, that is all I got for this. So thanks for checking this out with me. And until whatever comes next, I said see ya.